Hello everyone, this is Locko S, and welcome to the Mirage 2000C, where today we are going to be covering the Magic 2 missiles and air-to-air guns. We're going to be covering these two weapon systems together for air-to-air use in a single video because they're actually, in the Mirage 2000C, sort of like in a lot of other aircraft, they're actually sort of part of a combined air-to-air dogfight mode. The controls for doing this are we also have your, here we go, weapon system command forward and aft to enter your various ACM combat modes. So we'll be doing forward to get in, once again into a bore sight dogfight, bore sight ACM mode, and then double, and then again to swap to a basically a vertical scan mode with the radar. And then if we want to do a horizontal search, we will use aft. And then depress actually will clear a radar lock if we lock the wrong target. And that'll clear the radar lock. To clear a magic lock, we do magic unlock. Now, to lock a magic to a radar contact, or to lock the radar to the magic contact, we use magic slave. And other buttons to note, micro trigger second stage fires air ground fires your ordnance. So in this case, the magic 2 stage will fire magic 2s for this tutorial. But it fires basically every other weapon that the Mirage can carry. And the guns are the only exception to that, because there's a separate gun trigger. So let's not deafen ourselves with the sound of the Mirage 2000C outside. So, also one thing important to note in the cockpit of the Mirage 2000C, if I remove the pilot body, is there is a volume dial for the magic tone right here. So if you don't want to listen to the magic tone blaring too loudly, or you just want to have it off entirely, you can go ahead and adjust it here. If you have it off entirely, however, you won't miss the audio cue for a lock. You'll have to rely on HUD symbology. So I would just go ahead and turn it a little bit down, like that, just so that's not too loud for the tutorial. And we're already, the aircraft has already decided that it wants to go sideways on me. Alright, so we are in HUD navigation symbology here. To activate magic, to activate our magics, we use our CMND switch. So again, adjust controls, just show you where it is. CMN magic will bring up the magic symbology. CMN AA gun will bring up the 30mm cannon. CMN neutral will bring us out of dogfight mode. Now, CMN AA gun and magic will both bring up the dogfight mode of the Mirage 2000C. Both will still have all their systems and stuff operational, so even if we're in 8A gun, the magic will still perform its search and try to lock onto a target on its own. So keep that in mind, and I do believe with CMN AA magic, we should still be able to fire the guns. Now, something else to note before you fire your weapons, down on this panel here, you have a gun arm save switch and a master arm switch. Master Arm activates all the weapons on the Mirage, but the gun also needs gun arm save switch activated. So if you go ahead and have this configuration here, and you go command your missiles, you will see that your weapon selected, which is right here, is flashing. So in order to get it to work, you have to go ahead to here, master arm on, and now it's solid and you're good to go. If I were to command the cannon and disable the gun arm switch and press the gun trigger, I'm not able to actually fire the gun. I am not going to fire the gun because something to note, for the Mirage 2000C and loadouts, you're at best going to have with the Magic 2s 4 Magic 2s. And that basically negates pretty much most other ordnance you can carry on the Mirage. So it's if you want to go for full magics, you can have 4, but that's going to be pretty much all your Mirage is going to really carry. Carry some bombs on the middle racks, if you want to, but that's for air-to-ground work. For your cannons, you only have 125 rounds of cannon rounds each. So you're going to have to be careful with your usage of the rounds, because you do burn through these relatively quick. Now you can go down here, by the way, and you can actually adjust some of the cannon options down here. So you can, with your gun, you can either do a rapid fire mode or a lean or a slower fire mode here. So if you want to burn, so if you want to get a whole, so if you're in a situation where you need to, you really want your guns to like, you need to hit a target really fast, one pass with as many rounds as you want. You can get on a target. Go to rapid. However, because we're doing more of a training operation, and we're going to save our cannon rounds for our larger Aleutian targets, we're going to go to Len, or lean. Also down here on the weapons panel, we can either do tote or par. Tote basically allows you to fire as long as the trigger is held down. Par basically does a burst fire mode where the guns will stop firing after a predetermined amount of time. So it's more of a burst fire mode. We're going to do tote just because it'll keep things simpler. And we could be pretty. And if you do have good trigger discipline, you don't necessarily need burst fire. But again, just keep in mind, your Mirage 2000C only has 125 gun rounds total. Granted, I will say that the 30mm cannon of the Mirage is very deadly, so you can easily expect to knock out most targets with only a couple of 30mm round ammunition when it's in air-to-air mode. All your air-to-air targets are basically going to be shredded by the Mirage's cannons. Magic 2s, they're the equivalent of an AIM-9 M Sidewinder, roughly the same range and firepower, so the Magic 2s can damage larger aircraft and make them non-operational, but it might not down them entirely. They also might still fly and continue on their mission, so do keep in mind that if you do get a Magic 2 hit, we'll cover that very soon. If you do get a Magic 2 hit, do keep in mind your target may still keep flying afterwards if it's especially rugged target. Like, if you're for whatever reason fighting against A-10Cs, a Magic 2 hit isn't necessarily going to outright kill it, but you might damage it enough to make it return back to base. Or it might be bold enough and try to do one more bombing run and try to take out all the ground targets before it heads back to base. So, we're going to go ahead and pause the game here. I'm going to double check something. Alright. So there's our targets today are going to be a pair of 2 F5Es and a pair of Aleutian 76s. We're going to use cannons on the Aleutians, and we're going to use Magic 2s on the fighters. The air-to-air gun can be used in a dogfight against fighter-sized targets, but with your limited gun ammunition and the fact that the rounds are a bit heavy, and the gun sight is mainly meant to be used in a the gun sight's really only meant to be used, and it's really only accurate whenever you're on the enemy's tail. You're not really going to be able to do high deflection shots that are in a lot of dogfights. You're going to have to kind of do some Kentucky windage, get some experience with the Mirage 2000C, use the gun sight to get a rough idea of where your target's rounds are going to land, and then basically just point the gun further of the target, shoot, and let the aircraft fly into the hail of bullets. It's not the most accurate or best way to do it, but it is how you have to do it. Yeah, it does have to do aerial gunnery in more of a dogfight situation. First up, though, we're going to cover the magic employment. So we're commanding magics, and there we go. We're going to undesignate our search there. So magics have a couple of search modes. So whenever you command magics, there is whenever you do a CMD magic, your basic magic scan mode is a vertical scan mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So in this mode, the magic is going to do a search that is vertical in nature, so it's going to look up and down to try to find the target. And then once the magic finds the target this way, it'll lock onto the target without a radar lock. So this is entirely the magic doing all the locking. The radar has nothing to do with it. If you go ahead and and there we go, and the magic has found the target. It does take a while to do the search, so if we do unlock the search, so it does sometimes take a while for the magic to find a target. The secret head has to actually go up and down, up and down, up and down. Also, the magic we can tell has lock because there's a circle. The circle around the target means that the magic has on its own locked up a target. And we did get the tone, which again we can adjust down here. So I'll do that right now so I can talk to you guys. There we go. It's a lot more. It's a lot quieter, so we can talk. So there we go. That is the magic locked up to a target. In fact, I'm gonna deploy air brakes and slow down because I want to engage that target to the right. So magic has on its own picked up that target. We can fire the magic 2 now, and the magic 2 should track that target. However, the important thing to note is we have no ranging information. Now, granted, we could probably eyeball the range to that target, and we could probably figure out it was roughly within range, so we don't necessarily have to worry about hitting the target now. But if it was a bit further out and you weren't sure of the range, you're going to have to just eyeball it to determine if the missile is in range. Roughly 2 miles, and I would probably say, I don't know how well it's going to come out on YouTube, but if you can kind of see a bit of the target, a little bit of the features of it, you should be within range. Now, here's the cool thing. There we go. We don't have to... There we go. All right, now that they're far enough away, we can go ahead and use a different locking method. So we're gonna unlock the magic, and I'm going to show you a radar lock. Slave. So go ahead. Unlock that. Oh, there's another thing I should mention. If you want to, instead of a vertical search pattern, if you want a horizontal search pattern, you could hit the magic. You can go here, and now the magic will enter a horizontal search pattern. It might struggle a bit. I have noticed that the magic does struggle a bit sometimes in horizontal search mode. But you can use this to do a horizontal search. If you want the magic in either vertical or horizontal mode to only search a very small area of the aircraft in front of it, you can go ahead and use the magic undesignate switch, and it'll swap. You don't have to have the target locked undesignated. If you undesignate it when the target has not been picked up, it'll also go to this mode where you have this box, and you basically take the magic, you put the target, take the box, you put the target in the box, and the magic will search for the target inside the box, and there you go. Before I do the radar lock, you can also, with the magic locked onto a target, do magic slave, and it'll actually then tell the radar to look where the magic is looking to lock up to give you ranging symbology. So there we go. So there we go. That's our lock symbology. So we had the traditional radar lock symbology at the square, and then with the circle inside of it, and then after a second or two, the weapon system on the Mirage figured out that yes, indeed, the radar and the magic are looking at the same target, and whenever the magic and the radar are looking at the same target, the symbology will change to a diamond. We have 2 circles, which mean we have 2 circles and a dot. The 2 circles basically are telling us that we are within weapons firing parameters, and that little dot is telling us how much lead we want to put on the missile. So you want to get that dot within the middle of the circle to get a good firing solution. We have G and D lit up, and that is basically telling us that the Mirage has Magic 2 missiles equipped on the right and left, and they're right, and then both of them are locked up and ready to go on that target. On the right hand side, we have our closure right here, and then to the right of that, we have our radar ranging scale. Max range is up here. This isn't really max range. This is basically if the radar, if the target was further out, it would just continue to go up there. So that's basically the range to the target. That's the max display. That's 0. So for this scale currently, the Magic 2 is a max effective range is here, and its minimum range that we can fire at is here. So we're within min and max. Our range is, that's our range to the target right there on the scale. I would say that for almost all your missiles in DCS, a good rule of thumb is fire in the bottom 2/3 of the scale into a sure and hit. If you're in a situation where you need to get a missile off fast, you definitely want to wait until your missile, you're just underneath this max release queue for all your missiles. However, if you're trying to make sure you have a really good chance of getting a kill, wait till you're within the bottom 2/3 of the range scale, and you'll very reliably get kills. So that's so basically at this point, all of our symbology is there. Where we have both the radar lock confirming our range, we have the everything ready to go, so we can go ahead and fire the Magic 2. Second stage, microbe second stage trigger, fires it, and there we go. Missile away, splash 1, F5E. So we have this F5E here on the side, and we're going to do the opposite acquisition method. We're going to unlock, and there we go. We're going to use that and command a vertical scan. And after we command this vertical scan, we're going to flip over and up. And now we have a radar lock, but no magic lock on the target because we have that box. Pressing the magic slave button will now slave the magic to where the radar is looking. And there we go. Dashed lines on any radar contact or any contact mean that the contact is outside the HUD view. But again, we now have a good solution. However, this is not quite what we want to show. We don't want to get quite our kill yet. I do want to showcase that that we now just have the. So now in this mode, we just have the magic locking the target, and we can fire in this mode. We do have good radar tone, so we can do that. Also, some other neat functionality is with the Mirage, down here in the weapon selection panel, down here, you always have the magic standby, which you always want on whenever you're in a combat situation to prep the missiles. I do believe as part of the normal starter procedure and the normal starter process, the Mirage already has this automatically selected, so you're good there. And what you also want, which is really cool, is that you can leave the missile selector and weapon selector switch in the middle position. It'll automatically know and tell you which missile it wants to fire. However, if you specifically want a missile from the right to fire, you can put it into the right, or if you want a missile specifically from the left side, you could put a missile into the left side. So we have one from the left fired, so just to make sure that the missile computer is working, we're going to go ahead and put this to the right side. And get a bit more speed because our target is escaping. So we want to make sure we put enough energy into the missile to get a good shot. Fox 2. Missile indeed came off the right side, and we got a kill. Alright, so that is all there is really to know about the Magic 2 missile. We're now going to switch over to the gun mode. And keep in mind, even though we're in gun mode, the Magic is still going to, with the Mirage's dogfight mode, as you can see, the Magic 2 missiles are still indeed trying to track the target. So keep in mind that if you want to switch over to magic symbology, you already have the magic ready to go. Now I might try to experiment here because I actually have never done this before to see if the magic 2 missiles will fire in cannon mode. I might do that after I do a cannon burst fire on this, just to get the kill and just to add insult to injury. But more importantly, let's talk about the cannon mode now. You have the pull a little bit on the stick and pause. There we go. In fact, all right, there we go. Now we have the HUD symbology a little bit clearer for the cannon mode. So for the cannon mode, in unlocked mode, this is without the radar, you have the center line of the aircraft right there, and then you have this gun trail. And this gun trail is showing you basically sort of where the it's gun snake. That's what it's called. Sorry, gun snake is where this is basically showing you where the bullets are going to fall in the trajectory at various ranges. So you have here and here 2 different ranges that you can fire the gun at. This is a bit further away, and this is a bit closer. I believe this might be 600 or 300 meters, and this might be 200 meters. The gun does require you to get up fairly close because it is a 30mm cannon, so it's not going to be it does have distance, but it is a relatively slow cannon, so keep that in mind. The cannon also really is only meant for you could be reliably effective with the cannon against larger, slower targets like these transport aircraft. You can't use it as in a dogfight, but the radar gun sight that we will be selecting soon, as well as this gun sight, is really only effective in a whenever you're on someone's 6 and you're able to keep a relatively steady lock, so a relatively steady flight profile. If you start pulling G's, you can see the gun snake goes off the chart. Oh, slow down so we don't overspeed our target. There we go. All right, so I'm going to estimate that the now you can as part of your mission briefing get information on the the wing tips, the wing size of the Ilyushin 64 or whatever your target is. However, I didn't bother to look that up. I just realized I probably should have to do the most accurate gun run. But we could estimate with a large transport aircraft like this that the wing size is going to be pretty large. So I'm going to assume we're going to probably put it around, like, I believe this is in feet, so like 25 meters or yards. So as you can see, as you adjust the the wing size, it'll dynamically adjust these bars, and those bars are what you use to aim. So if you don't know what your wingtip size is, you're gonna be in trouble. Now, because this aircraft isn't really maneuvering, it's not super important the wing size, because we can estimate it that it's roughly going to be between this and this size. And if you get, the goal is to get these edges of the bars here on the wingtips and pull the trigger. So if your bars are all roughly or closely together and they're all roughly in the same spot of the wings, you have a fairly good gun solution, and you should go ahead and fire. So here we go. We're pretty good. And 30mm cannon shot killed it. So as you can see, the 30mm cannon, we fired less than 25 rounds of ammunition. I believe we fired closer to around like 17 or 16 rounds. And yeah, we completely just snapped the wing off of it. Like I said, it's a 30mm armor-piercing round, so expect to deal a whole lot of damage. There's our target. So before we do the final kill, let's switch over to our radar sight. So we'll go ahead, do a bore sight check. There we go, a bore sight lock in ACM mode. And now we have the radar gun sight. So I'm going to pull the Mirage off target for a bit so we can talk about the radar gun sight. What I do, there we go. Okay, obviously I'll recommit to the attack after this. I just wanted to get the gun sight, the gun pipper off the target a little bit. So there's your gun pipper, there's your gun snake, showing you like the path of your bullets throughout the flight. out in the distance. So if basically the sooner you fire, the closer they'll be to the like the more time passes, the more it'll the position will be indicated lower on the track. More importantly, here we have the gun pipper. So the pipper here, obviously the middle is where you want to put the target, somewhere in the middle here. And the ranging clock here unwinds from up here down over this way. As you can see, we are below the 1/4 mark, which is bad because we are now we are too close really to use the guns or really to engage in any weapons. You want to use the gun in between. I believe this is 900 meters out here, or and 300 meters right here. So we're going to go ahead and recommit. We lost radar lock, which is expected. Get on burners to get our airspeed up. Yeah, we did actually, I do believe our target's still at 15. Yeah, that's why we lost track of it. Target's still up at 1500, so let's climb to rejoin our friend. And then we can even use a BVR radar lock for a guns kill, which is interesting. Let's see here. He is 6 miles up off to the right. Oh, there he is. See if we can use the... I do believe the ACM radar locks are only good in relatively close ranges, so... There we go. Again, we're commanding the radar gun sight. Do keep in mind that because we are so far out, we're not really going to get much of a gun snake, and... we're just going to have to wait until we get closer before we actually get the cannon symbology up. We do have a fairly good closure rate, though, of 200, so we should be fine. We also have plenty of gun rounds, so we have 109 gun rounds, so we should be fine there. Also, of note, while we are closing in, come down a little bit in speed. Down here, you have Tote and Par. Down here on the cannon button down there, Tote is basically a, like I mentioned earlier, a full-on, you're not firing in burst, you're firing in, at that point, just continuous mode. So, do keep in mind, if you do have it on Tote, you're gonna empty all your gun ammunition if you're not careful and you don't have good trigger discipline. If you want to be careful about your gun ammunition, you can go ahead and use burst. Also, because this is our last aircraft, this is our last target of the day. Oh, yeah, we already have it in rapid. Good. So here we go. We're down now underneath a third of a. Our gun clock is now, our pipper is down past a third, down to half. Go ahead, fire. And dead. All right, now I did end up using quite a bit of ammunition on that target. That sometimes happens. Sometimes you hit non-critical areas. So it does sometimes take a while to kill, but sometimes it just feels good just to empty out a whole bunch of ammunition to a target and get your kill that way. So that is your total. That is your basically all your training and all you really need to know about the magic and DEFA 554 30mm cannons. Really isn't much more to it other than that. The Mirage is very much a, like I said, it can be used in a dogfight fairly effectively with the cannons. You mostly want to try, you definitely want to try to get your kills off with the magic against fighter-sized targets. The cannon, like I said, is not really used for deflection shots. If you try to use the gun pipper in a high aspect shot, it generally won't work. Your best bet is at that point to point the nose of the aircraft to somewhere in front of the target, hold down the trigger, and basically have the enemy aircraft fly into your hail of bullets. It's not the most effective way to do things, but if you're trying to do a high deflection shot, you're just gonna have to use Kentucky windage and have the aircraft not really aim it forward you, but just like spray and pray a bit. Other than that, though, with the gun, use rear aspect. Try to get like on a rear aspect with your guns for the best use of the gun aiming system. And really, other than that, that's really it. Have fun. Good luck with the Mirage 2000C with your Magic 2s and guns, and I will see you all in the next video, where we're probably going to go over we're definitely going to go over in the next video Super 530, because that's a whole nother basically fight, and you have to use the Super 530 in way different ways. So until then, see you all later.